Hi, my name is Jeremy Whitmer. I'm the head of North America for Amplify-Now, and I would like to show you how Amplify can be used to support your post-merger integration program. Amplify is a collaborative, single source of truth for managing your integration programs. Our goal is to help your team achieve your targets for synergy realization. How we do that is through four main features that you can see here, starting with portfolio optimization, which allows you to select the right initiatives that will help you achieve your integration goals. Next, we have a series of project management capabilities, including delivery planning reporting and RAID management to help guide the execution of your initiatives. Finally, we have performance indicator tracking, which allows you to track the realization of your synergies and plot out how you are tracking against your targets. And so I've logged into Amplify, and what we're going to do is take a run through the tool through the shoes of Daniel LaRusso, who is our integration program lead. And so you can see here I am on my personal dashboard, but what we're going to do first is take a look at the overall structure of the integration program. And so I'll click on the hierarchy icon here, and we're just going to break this down a little bit. And so what we have at the top is our post-merger integration program. We have this integration program broken down into multiple work streams, which in this example are organized by business function. Now, one point to note is that this organization is customizable, and additionally we can have multiple layers of these work streams as well. And on the bottom, what we have are the individual initiatives that allow us to achieve our synergies. And what we're going to do as well is we're going to include our goals for the overall program, and then we'll take a look at the performance indicators that are enabled by the initiatives. So here you can really see how this all works together. Now what we want to do first is see how are we tracking relative to our goals. And so have we identified initiatives that allow us to achieve our deal theses that we had outlined at the beginning of the program. And so for that, what I'm going to do is select this goal here, where I'm looking to achieve $45 million in run rate savings by 2023. So if I click on that link, I'm brought to our goal dashboard, where we can see, indeed, it's good news. We are tracking well relative to that $45 million target. In fact, our current initiatives and synergies are planned to achieve $46 million relative to our $45 million target. Next, what I want to do is take a look at the program, and let's see how the overall maturity of our program is trending. So what I'll do is click on the post-merger integration program, and what we can do is take a look at our stage gate process. Now our stage gate process allows us to provide a fixed set of stage gates that we use to guide the execution of the individual initiatives. Now the stage gate process that you see here is customizable. We can update the criteria for advancing between the different stages, and we can also update the approvers as well as the names and numbers of the stages that we see here. What this dashboard tells me at the program level is that currently we have a somewhat immature portfolio. So what we see are a lot of our initiatives that are in the early identify and validate phase, and we don't have a whole lot that are in plan, execute, and realize. And so if we think back to when we looked at the goals earlier, what we saw is we were performing well relative to our goals, but now we can identify that there's a caveat to that, and that a lot of our initiatives are still in their early phases, and so the values may not be very well vetted. And so there's additional scrutiny as these plans advance through the various stages. And so while it's great that we're achieving our goals, the challenge is, of course, that we're still in these early stages, and so those values, those plans, will be iterated probably and can vary as they advance through these different stages. Now that we've seen how our plans contribute to our goals, next we're going to look at the actual performance of the initiatives as we look to execute our program. And so with that, we're actually going to go on the Synergy Dashboard. And so what we have here is a view of the financials for our integration program. And so just to highlight what you're looking at here, so what the purple bar shows us is our current plan, or you can view this as our current business case. What the gray bar is this is a baseline plan. And so the way I like to describe it is imagine the plan is V35 of our business case, whereas the baseline is V0 or V1. What we can also see is the red bar here, which is the actuals, and that is based on the actual values for costs and synergies that have been logged in the tool. And then finally we have our blue bar here, which is our forecasts. And those forecasts are derived based on the plan as well as the actual values. And so looking at the values here, what I can see is that the good news is that our current plan is about $600,000 higher than our baseline. And so we've managed to identify some additional savings relative to our initial business case. The bad news, however, is that our forecast is falling short of our plan by about, it looks like $1.9 million. And so the challenge there is understanding why are we falling short and what can we do to correct that. And so scrolling down a bit, I can see that shortfall as well as how the individual work streams and initiatives are contributing to that shortfall. And so I can see here that the human resources workstream is about $1 million short, and the sales workstream is about $900,000 short. So what we'll do first here is we'll take a look at the HR workstream. So now I've drilled down to the HR workstream, and we see a view that's similar to what we were seeing up at the program level. So we still have our plan, our forecast, and our baseline. And what's interesting here is in FY22, where we see our forecast actually quite a bit short of our plan. If we scroll down a bit, we see the contribution of each of the initiatives to that shortfall. And there's this one in particular, the onboard new individuals, that seems to be driving a lot of that shortfall that we're seeing. What we can do to see how things are going on a non-financial basis is view our performance dashboard. So in our performance dashboard, the tool has identified what we call the delivery threats. And the delivery threats are things such as tasks or initiatives that are delayed, if there's any high risk items, or if we have a poor performing status on any of the initiatives. And so here at the top, once again, we see our onboard new individuals initiative. And so what that tells us is, hey, there's something happening with this one. And we see there's a delay of 153 days. So what we're going to do is just click on that one. And now we're looking at the initiative dashboard. Now, one point to highlight is that with Amplify, we often encourage teams to run what we call a federated approach to program management. And so what that means is that we have initiative leads that are managing their individual initiatives on a day-to-day basis. And the overall integration program team is more focused on management by exception and viewing the performance of the overall program. And so to that end, what we see here is now that we're at the initiative level is a much richer dashboard than what we've been viewing earlier. And so we can see here that the good news is that our costs are right on top of our budget. However, we see some challenges with the rate items that are being tracked here, where we have 3 rate items, 2 which are high risk, and we're exposed to about $900,000. And then our synergies, that's where we're falling short. So we see that $1 million variance in our synergies. If I scroll down a little bit, we have a Gantt chart with some of the key milestones and tasks that we're executing as part of this initiative. And so looking at this, what we see is we have this red hourglass here, which is telling us that there's a 61-day delay in this remove duplicate payroll systems task relative to its baseline. What we can also see here is that we have a dependency between this task and the achievement of this benefit decrease in payroll administration costs. And so what that means is any delay that we have in finishing this task leads to a delay in realizing this benefit. And we can see the impact of that if we click on this link here. So now we are on the dedicated dashboard for the Synergy decrease in payroll administration costs. And just to quickly highlight what is on the dashboard here, so here we have a graph that shows the cumulative achievement of the Synergy over time. The purple bar, that is our plan value, and then we see a little bit of the gray baseline right around it. And then we have our blue bar, which is our forecasted value. And what has happened is we see there is a 5-month delay between realizing the forecast and what we had initially with the plan there. And what is happening is that delay is costing us $1 million. This is really the power of Amplify, because with traditional project management solutions, what you would see is a delay in the task completion, and potentially you think about it in terms of having to keep the resources on longer or just the delay in the initiative. You may not be thinking about the impact of delaying the realization of the benefit. And here we see that would be costing us $1 million. And so now that we've drilled down to understand why are we falling short of our synergies at the program level, what we're going to do is go back to the program level and create a report that we can distribute to our teams here. And so we've gone back to the program level and we're going to go to our PMI dashboard. And so what this is a custom report that we've developed using Power BI. And Amplify provides you with that flexibility. So we have the native reporting capabilities, which we've been showing thus far, and also the ability to create your own custom reports, which is what you see here. And then what we can also do is export this to PowerPoint to share this with our stakeholders here. So this takes a few minutes, but it'll generate the PowerPoint, and we actually have an example of that here that you can now share with your teams. And so that concludes our demonstration of Amplify for PMI programs. In this demonstration, what we've shown is how you can use the goals to highlight what are the deal theses. You can see how the plans all stack up to achieve those goals. We highlighted the stage gates and how you can assess the maturity of the program. We showed how you can use Amplify's reporting to drill down from the highest level to the lowest level of the program to identify where you may see challenges in realizing your synergies, all the way down to the root cause analysis. And then finally, what we've shown here is how you can create custom reports, which you can then share with your program stakeholders. If you would like to learn more about Amplify, you can visit our website at amplify-now.com, where you can see some more of the features as well as some of the use cases that we support with our product. Additionally, you can see some of our customer success stories and read through our blog and see forthcoming events. You can also contact us to learn more about the tool or request a live demo where we can talk about how Amplify can support your project. Thank you for your time.